And in these cities, which has been done, many eminent views has come out. The Iijsa has been launched by none other than the convener, Brigadier Dr. Dhiman. So here I take the opportunity to hand over the dice to Professor Dr. Dhiman. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Varun. Thanks a lot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you, all dignitaries who come for the first time. I mean, I'm totally very buoyed at this time. In fact, I'm rushing from one of the newsroom channel studios back to my home to meet you all and seeing all the faces and the luminaries and the experienced people over here. I'm really very, very happy. And I send all my warm welcomes and regards to all of you, sir. Sir, today we are here to discuss a very, very important issue. As you all are aware that 5th of August 2019 was a historical day for Jammu and Kashmir. And on that particular day, we had something which happened which was not conceivable in any sane Indian's mind for a very, very long time. And people always believe that that probably is something which cannot happen. But finally, it happened with the efforts of the government of the day. And we had a different sort of a setup going on. And lots of things happened thereafter. But one of the things was that after Jammu and Kashmir becoming a union territory, there had to be delimitation for the assembly to be convened. So delimitation was some as a buzzword, and this is one of the requirements as well. And there has been a commission appointed by Justice Parekh, and that's how we're going about it. And then lots of meetings have taken place of late. Prime Minister has called an all-party meeting at his residence to brief the budding politicians of Jammu and Kashmir, and lots of reactions, positive, negative, everywhere. But this particular delimitation, what are the expectations now? What had happened in the future? All that we have discussed. And maybe we can probably find some way, or maybe we can sort of give us some kind of a viewpoint to the new commission, delimitation commission. Maybe we feel that there was a disparity in the balance of power between the regions, or the provisions of delimitation commission were not correctly or not rightfully sort of addressed to accommodate all the wishes of the people. And all this is because the very important thing that normally can occur over here in this process is that this process after it is given by the commission. There is no way it can be challenged in the court. So whatever commission says has to be the final word. And similar thing happened way back after 1947 when all the states, there were 15 states in India in 1947, all were asked to sort of go in for a constituent assembly and try to form a constitution of their own. But unfortunately, what happened was that barring J&K was the only state which said we'll go ahead with this. Rest of the states, after a bit of deliberation on the subject, they said that whatever constitution was being made at the center by the then government at the center, that will be acceptable to them. There were states, class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and there was a proper procedure followed. But unfortunately, in J&K, they went ahead with the Constituent Assembly. Unfortunately, the power was with Sheikh Abdullah, courtesy Jawaharlal Nehru. Whatever his compulsions were to accommodate that gentleman, he did. And what Sheikh Abdullah did in J&K, he went in for a Constituent Assembly, elections were held, and 73 were unopposed because it disqualified the people from the other party. And only National Conference got those seats. And the other two were also lightly contested, one by National Conference. It is something like today's China's Communist Party of India, Communist Party of China, that they have an entire seat with them only, barring a few. So in that particular thing, they went in for a delimitation, and they had the criteria sort of given to them, which are there as per the People's Representation Act of Jammu and Kashmir at that particular time. All those things happened, but ultimately, what they did was something which was heavily favored towards the valley and less towards Jammu. Like fine, and then on a couple of more occasions, the delimitations occurred. Justice Gupta was the last one, but still the final result was 37 seats for Jammu, 47 for Kashmir, and 4 for Ladakh. Now, when we say 37 for Jammu and 46 for Kashmir, now the various parameters, that is the number of voters, then the area involved, then the kind of communications in that area, accessibility, the roads, the compactness of that thing, all those are factors to be taken into account. And ultimately what happens at the moment is that we had census in 2011, and as per that, today the Jammu region has a constituency of 91,905 voters per constituency, and Kashmir has 78,225 only. And the area in Jammu region is 212 square kilometers, and Kashmir is 37 square kilometers. So this appears to be heavily concocted and in favor of Kashmir. And now that the delimitation is going to happen again, so there are lots of aspirations. People in Jammu have started speaking about it. People in Kashmir are also speaking. They gave the counters to people in Jammu. They have their own reasoning. But then these reasonings have to be based on certain parameters which have already been laid down in the Constitution, and not the gut feeling or your own interpretation. And as I said, this is not challengeable in a court at any one point of time. So whatever the commission leaves, whatever the Ranjan Desai commission leaves behind is going to be a gospel's truth. And the feeling in Jammu is, if this is the time, if they can correct it, there will be something possible. Otherwise, it is now and never. Another view which has been given is that in Kashmir, as per the 2010 census to 2011 census, there should have been migrations out of Kashmir, out of valley. So their population level should go down. It is not only Pandits, it's even Muslims who migrated out of the valley during this region. And wherein in Jammu, we had a sizable number of, let's say about 33 lakh displaced people from Mirpur and present POJK. They are already living in Jammu, voting for Lok Sabha constituencies, but barred from having the voting rights towards the legislative council. So those people would come in. So with this, there should be an increase in population in Jammu and decrease in valley, whereas the figures show us the other way around. So that becomes a bit of a controversy, which has to be addressed. And then, if 2011 is the basis, that is what probably is not acceptable to most of the people who are talking on Jammu. They said we should have a fresh census of 2021, and then we go for delimitation, and then we go for a legislative census. So these are a few issues which I thought I would put in front of you, and maybe that would sort of generate some kind of a discussion. Now we have very eminent panelists who will be talking on the subject. First is Professor Suresh Chandra, who's been in Jammu and authority on the subject for a very, very long time. And he's very well known figure for the views that he sort of professes in front of others, and the right one, and quite convincing one. And then we also have advocate Sumer Khajoria from Udhampur, who has done a lot of work on this, and his recent book on this is out in the stalls already. It's been published and it has already been released. So he also is almost an authority on the subject. And then finally we have our Mr. Jandyal, who's been a bureaucrat, who has a real pulse of the happening in J&K, who would be giving us his views. And all of the panelists, esteemed ones who are here, whom I welcome already, and I would request you all to kindly listen to the speakers, and we should be able to generate healthy debate. And all the panelists and the people who would be participating in the question answer sessions and the discussion, I'm telling you, sir, since Iijsa is a platform wherein we promote views of everybody. Everybody means everybody, irrespective of color, creed, caste, region, religion. Nothing is important. We are here only for academic discussion. And for that purpose, I have a sizable number of young boys and girls, the youth of our Jammu region, some from Kashmir, and some people would be joining from POJK, and some in exile in UK, Canada, and US. They all are here. And thereafter, this particular issue is also on YouTube to be watched by the rest of the world. So I would request you to kindly go by the merits of the case and no emotions may please be displayed, no region-wise aspiration be displayed, no religious aspiration be displayed, but we should go by the concrete facts and things on ground. Right? If they're right, it should be pronounced right. If they're wrong, it should be pronounced wrong, along with the reasoning, of course, which should be very, very sort of prominent.